Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Salt City Racing Podcast number 2. Nick, good evening.
Good evening.
Kyler, are you there?
Yes, sir. How are you guys?
Hey, pretty good. We need to turn Kyler up a little bit, I think. Just a touch. Gus will get that for us. All right. Anyway, Kyler, thanks for joining us. He's live from Dodge City. How's everything out there in Dodge City, Kyler?
The weather was pretty nice today. The wind started picking up, though, unfortunately,
Yes.
but we're getting there.
Anyway, it was there, now it's gone.
Can you hear me now, guys?
Kyler, I don't know if everybody can hear Kyler or not. We cannot hear Kyler. I need to hear him. I can't hear him. Anyway, so Gus will get that little technical difficulty fit. We had Kyler there just for a second, but now he's not. So
can you hear me now, guys?
Everybody can hear Kyler from that part too.
You need to change headsets.
Okay.
I can hear him just fine.
You can hear. Okay, so there we go. Kyler, are you there, buddy?
How's that?
I can hear you good. Okay, so we got a little technical on our headsets. Now we're ready to go. Anyway, lots of exciting stuff to talk about this evening. Hope you're all ready to go. Take some notes if you want to, whatever, but we'll have everything up on the Salt City Racing page and also Facebook, that kind of stuff too. My Race Pass too. Don't forget to get on My Race Pass, get registered up. Nick's going to go through that. I'm going to go through some introductions of what's happening. Kyler's going to take over some of the stuff on the track. Nick's going to talk about some basic track rules and stuff like that too. So lots of things to talk about from that point. So first of all, exciting news. Monday morning, we will be moving dirt at the big track. Very excited for that. And finally, the weather's here. We're ready to go, gentlemen. We do got a lot of work on that racetrack to get it up to speed, but I think we brought the best of the business in to take care of that. We're bringing Mike Van Gendren in from Iowa City. He actually put the dirt on Bristol. So I think that guy, I don't know what's going on. If NASCAR can hire him, I think we can hire him, right?
I think he can handle what we're doing.
Yeah, so I think he's going to teach us a lot. That's one thing I will tell everybody. Hey, you know what? You know when you need help, you go find it, and that's what I'm doing. I've never prepped a racetrack, never claimed to, I know what color dirt is. That's about all I know. But I went to find the right person, the right people, and everything behind us to get that going. So Mike will be coming into town Sunday night, and he'll get fired off. He thinks it's going to take him 3 days, and basically this first 3 days is just a base setting, just to get things kind of situated stuff from that part. Mike will come back again sometime in April again and do more prep from that part too. But basically these first 3 days is just to get us a surface. And I know racers, that's what I want you to have. I want a good racing surface that's going to be good. Will it be good right out of the gate? I hope so, but we don't know. Till we race on it and see how things go and that kind of stuff too. Mike's very excited. He's ready to work with this kind of dirt and that kind of stuff, or the sand, I should say, out there, what we're going to do. So I think Mike's going to be a huge asset to us. And racers, he's not a cheap date. I promise you that, because I went out and I got the best of the best to bring this on and from that part. So we'll see what happens the first 3 days. Again, it's just getting the base, trying to get something hard underneath the base for us to use. Then Mike will come back from that part. Next thing online, I can't thank Murphy Tractor and Equipment out of Park City, Curtis and Dan, awesome gentlemen to work with. If you guys are needing anything in that kind of line of work, I trust those guys will take good care of you. I know they will. Got a great relationship with those guys. They're bringing in the graders and stuff like that to help us to get Mike the right equipment to go there. So Curtis and Dan, can't thank you gentlemen enough for the partnership, what you're doing to help this racetrack get going. Instead of doing it once a year, we're going to do it probably 8 or 9 times, hopefully, in this first season. I can't stress enough how much we want to make sure that we have a great race surface, but we also want to have a great environment and everything else like that for the spectators, so they enjoy it and they want to come back, so we can fill these stands to prove the fair board this was the right decision, what we did to go keep this racetrack running and going. There's a lot of things going on in the background we're working on and stuff like that too. As we move forward, I can't thank Richardson Brothers Construction, John and Ross, enough for their donation and their time and effort trying to help get me other sponsors and things set up to go. So John and Ross out of Richardson Brothers Construction, building metal buildings right there. Hutch been around forever, second generation, maybe it's third generation. I don't know. I think it's second generation. Know his dad and Randy, Stan and Randy very well. Worked with them many years, but can't thank John and Ross Richardson very much for the help there. Next up is Agri Center. They're coming in. Help us with the lights. Racers, we're going to put about 3 big, huge pod lights on the back straightaway to help light that thing up. Yes, I'd love to put in a whole new lights and stuff like that, but we can't do that for this first year. until we can prove to the fair board we can get a 3-year contract after that situation. Some more sponsors that are coming on board, of course, is Ox Construction. They are also part of Andale Concrete. They're the ones that are helping us with the walls. So Mike, can't thank you enough too for your time and effort and everything else to help us get the walls put up that we're going to need. And races, we went back around the walls again too. We look like we're going to put up about 3 panels to get started. Mike's going to have about 6 panels laying around for us for spares as we need them throughout the year. So again, Mike, thank you for that. BG Products has called me and said, hey, a great partnership we have with Melheim on the Ford. They want to be part of this racetrack. I'll be meeting with those guys tomorrow afternoon to see what all they want to do, what they want to do to participate from that part. Of course, Big Corner Creative, yeah, that's our advertising company. They'll be doing making all the banners, all the flyers, all the stuff, everything we need to do for print. Of course, they've done the great website. If you haven't got over and checked out the website, check out what BCC did for us on our fantastic website and stuff. We're still growing and moving some things around on that website. So if you got some suggestions, what you want to see more different or whatever on the website, love to take some comments and questions on that. We'd love to hear what you say there too. We've already got some few comments coming in from people, and we've made some adjustments to that website also. So let's see. That's kind of listed of our sponsors and everything else too. So can't thank everybody enough. Excited for Monday morning at 8 o'clock for the grader to get fired up and Mike to get going around that racetrack and make things happen from that part. So racers, I promise you, before we get done, we will have you a race surface and make it fun. Mike's promised me he can make it happen from that part. Again, Murphy Tractor, Curtis and Dan, can't thank you enough, and everybody that's helping us put this thing together. Excited to go. So it's happening, right?
It's happening. It's hard to believe, but it's happening. It's been a long journey and a lot of work.
Okay, so I'm going to roll it to Nick for now, and then we'll get Kyler on here in just a second. But Nick, I want you to go through. You kind of made up some basic, what I'm going to say, track rules, or should I say, how we're going to run the racetrack?
Yeah, 100%. And a lot of this stuff, I think most everybody is going to be familiar with. Not a lot different from the other tracks that you may race at, but we'll kind of go over them again. Last week we talked about how we were going to stage the races in the infield and outside of the track, so I just kind of want to cover that again real quick. We're going to have the staging area for the heat race or the feature that is on deck. That staging area is going to be in the infield. The feature race that's third in line, or the heat race that's third in line, will be staged outside the track on the road in the pit area, and we will move them around accordingly. All races will start double file at a cone that we will have in turn 4. And then all the restarts in the heat races will be single file. In the heat race, if you are the cause of a single car caution, you will be finished for that heat race. Feature races, restarts will be double file with the leader out front, kind of normal procedure. I'm trying to read through my notes here because I've got some. Single file with less than 5 laps to go.
Can you put that up on there by chance?
I don't have a digital copy of it here.
You don't have it. It's on the
But
webpage.
it is on the webpage.
So the basic rules, general rules and procedures is on the Salt City Racing LLC if you want to.
It is on there.
On there from that part too.
Top 4 cars from heat races and features need to go to tech. Tech will be scales and tech will be in the infield. If you do exit the back straightaway into the pit area before reporting to tech, if you finish in the top 4, that will get you disqualified. Our victory lane and everything on our pictures, we will do all of the classes after the final race concludes so that we can get the show through and get people in and out of there. Transponders will be required. We're going to use Westhold's transponders. Receivers will be required. Channel 454.0, pretty normal. We will post our lineups on My Race Pass, as well as we will post them in the pit area as well. I want to stress that the speed limit in the pit area needs to be 5 miles an hour. We're going to have.
Can we go that slow?
I think we can. We're going to have kids and people and everything running around. We don't want anybody to get ran over. Rainouts, if we rain out before the event, pre-ordered tickets and pit passes, if you pre-ordered them, they will be refunded. If the rain occurs after the heat races have concluded, that will be considered a complete show, and we will not offer any refunds, and we will try to schedule to run the features at the next scheduled regular event. If it happens to be the last race of the season and it rains out, then we will pay out according to what the feature lineup is supposed to be. Basic code of conduct rules. Obviously, you're responsible for your own actions and your actions of your pit crew. We're not going to have any tolerance for fighting or anything like that. So that's kind of normal. If you have an incident with an on-track call, please work with us, the track officials, to resolve the issue. Please don't take it to social media and make a negative deal when we can probably just work it out and everybody can move on. But the biggest thing to remember is let's stay positive. Like Phil says, we have to prove to this fair board that this is a good deal for everybody. We want them to give us a long-term contract, so let's show them what we can do.
That's exactly right. I'm going to talk about that positivity for a minute. That's what we need to hear. We don't need the fair board being out there trying to give me any kind of ammunition to kill us for this following years. Or is everything going to be perfect, everybody? No, but we're going to do what we can. Let's make this a professional matter. Let's make everything positive for what we need to go forward. Getting mad and getting in front and putting it out on social media doesn't do any good. All it does is hurt our sport, and it hurts racing totally. So let's make sure that we're making things happen. And if you don't agree with something, let's talk about it like gentlemen and professionals. Let's not have a situation. That's what we're going to work towards, everything else like that. And that's what we're asking from your racers, your pit crew, and anybody you might bring into the pits from that standpoint, from that part.
A couple of questions in the chat. First one I see is, are you going to leave the flag stand where it is, or are we going to move it? We are going to leave it where it is for now.
Yes, we are going to leave it there because, again, that's an expense that I'm not going to spend until we get through this first year. I cannot make some changes of things of what I want to do. I got a long list of things I want to do the second, third, and fourth year as we move forward in this racetrack. But until I've got a longer contract in 1 year, I hope you all understand that. It's kind of like a lot of people asking about the switching it to a 3H track. Can't spend the money, can't bring the dirt in, all that kind of stuff on a 1 year idea that I might not be there in second, third, fourth year. So that's why we all got to work together. We all got to help each other. We got to support this thing and prove this fair board they made the right vote to continue racing at the fairgrounds from that part. Okay, and then
are we going to have a hot pit? So yes, we are. The hot pit will be in the infield. We're going to barricade a square off with K-rail. That's where the crew members will be able to come and watch the race, and the car will be able to come to the hot pit for service if need be.
Hot pit only for features.
Correct.
From that part. Okay, next one is, will you guys allow people to watch the races from the back wall? No, we cannot. The insurance is not letting us have people on the wall. Of course, that's very dangerous and stuff like that too, so that will not happen. So for as far as watching heat races in the back of the pits, get on top of your trailers, whatever, or come around to the other side on the west side and be able to stand in the grandstands there to watch the heat races or races from that part. Okay. Kyler, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Out there quiet, then we keep it quiet and everything else like that. Kyler's going to kick it off and with answer a few questions on things that have been coming across our chat lines through the normal Facebook page.
That's right.
From actual time, start times, all that kind of stuff. So Kyler,
yeah,
can't thank you enough for everything you're doing to help us with this racetrack, and appreciate that very much, and excited for what we can do 2-3 years combining Dodge City and Hutch together. Of course, it's going to be fun. There's some Friday nights at Hutch now, and then some Saturdays at Dodge. So excited for that. But again, can't thank you, Kyler, enough for everything you're doing to help.
No, and honestly, guys, that's what it's all about. You know, helping each other out. We're a big family here. It takes an army to do what we do in this industry, and like you said, leaving the negativity at the house. Don't bring it with you. It's going to be a good season at both places. So we look forward to 2 great seasons at Dodge and at Salt City. So, real quick, want to talk about how we're going to start the pits, opening the pits at 3 p.m. So, and we're going to be pretty firm on that, guys. So don't come at noon and expecting to get in because they're not going to open until 3 p.m. With that being said, we're going to have drivers meeting at 6 p.m. sharp. I want to have hot laps I want cars on the track by no later than 6:15. Um, and Phil wants me to have the first heat race on the track at 6:55. So we're going to do everything in our powers to make sure that happens. Now we're a pretty friendly group of guys, so um, we may prod and push a little bit, but don't take it too hard. We just want to make sure this show goes smooth. We are running several classes throughout the night, and with an 11 o'clock curfew, we want to make sure that we're at home and everybody getting home at a decent time. So that first heat will be at 6:55. You bet.
And then, we're talking about too, Kyler and I and Nick have had some conversations about, it's Friday night, people getting off work, that kind of thing. I understand that, but we need to get through it a timely fashion. The people in the stands need to be, 11 o'clock's got to be permanent done. But starting, when the schedules are, it's just once a month.
Yeah.
If you can work around these schedules and stuff like that, plan for this, be ready to go. I think it's exciting for us to get there, but I just want to be on time, want to be going, and I want to be done. I'd love to be done at 10:30.
And that's what's great about some of our shows at Dodge. We try to push those through really fast, and people only have about a 3-hour attention span in the grandstands anyway. So that's something we pride on ourselves here, and we're going to pride ourselves on at Hutch is making sure that we have a 3-hour show and we get everything in. And going into that, we could run all sorts of classes. That's something that we talked about earlier today. We're going to take a look at the opening night and how things go. There's been a little bit of negativity about maybe not running the sport compacts, but guys, I'm here to tell you that those 4-cylinder engines they take a beating on a big half-mile track, and until we can see how well that we're doing, we're going to kind of be safe and make sure that we get our classes in and out for both the drivers and the fans' sake. So just bear with us a little bit on those classes, because hopefully we can add a class down the road as well, which I'm sure we'll talk about here later on tonight.
Exactly. So
100%.
Okay. So anyway, Kyler, a couple more things on your list would be, I guess let's talk about the sport compacts. We've had a lot of comments and questions about that. We had them on the schedule at first, and we took them off. And Kyle, you can kind of chime in about that too. We love that class. We're trying to see how the night rolls, how many classes we can have, and if it comes time that we can see that will work, I think it's great.
Yeah, and we're kind of on the border of IMCA and USRA. There's some other classes we could add too, and we've talked about adding the stock car guys later on too, or the super stock guys.
Super stock, yeah.
Yes, what they call super stock. So bear with us. Hopefully we can get this show on time and make sure everything's running smooth, and we can look at adding a few of those classes down the road. And then it's a show. So we might do some fun things. We've talked about maybe even doing some qualifying in the modified division. So
we're not talking about it. We're doing it. Okay?
so there's going to be some fun things that are going to be unique to Salt City that you don't necessarily see at some of the weekly IMCA tracks in the state of Kansas. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how that all plays out, and it's going to be fun for the fans, I promise, because it's going to be a little bit different format for sure on how we line things up. So it's going to be a good season, I promise you. We're going to fine tune everything, and it's going to be spot on, I promise.
Yeah, Kyle, you ready to qualify your sprint cars, right?
Yeah, yep. We do a group qualifying.
Yeah,
Yep.
So we're going to start with the A mods and see how that works. And so we're right. We've been talking about the format. We haven't quite exactly figured out exactly how we're going to qualify. Kyle, we might just do it just like your sprint cars and see how that, do it the same way or whatever, alter or whatever. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But that's just a future conversation we have. But I would love to, if it works out great for the A mods, let's go to stock cars. Let's do it again.
Yeah, and that's something that I think you don't see that very often, and I think that would be really a cool thing for those divisions to be able to take place in a race format like that. So just bear with us on that opening night. We're going to it's going to be a learning curve for both the officials and the drivers. We're going to be pretty amped up and making sure that all the drivers are down there. It might not. Hopefully, the way we're lining up, we're bringing the first division out onto the racetrack, and while they're in there, we'll stage in the second division. So hopefully all that works out, and it looks like it's going to on paper. But until we actually get there and do it, we'll see how everything plays out. But
Yeah, Kyler, you're kind of cutting out just a little bit. I don't know if it's just on my end or whatever. My part. Sorry about that, but
No worries.
it's good. Okay, it sounds like coming. It's just on my end, and I'm hearing that. So sorry about that too. So
Okay.
yeah, and so anyway, qualifying. We'll figure out how that works. If we can move the stock cars in there, it's great from that part. And Kyler, what else is on your list, buddy? I hope the sport contact guys understand that half mile is hard on that on everybody's motor. Put it that way, but I think that's a little harder on those guys too. But,
Sure.
sorry, you guys, we took it, but just hang tight. If we can get you in, I promise you we'll put you in.
You know, one of my notes here is we're talking about the USRAB mods and some of the transition rules that we have that are going to be unique to Salt City. So if you're running the USRAB mod with a crate motor, with a 604 crate motor, you can run a 2-inch spoiler. But if you're running your USRAB mod engine with a 4-burr carb, IMC is going to call that an open motor, and you'll not be allowed to run your spoiler with the IMC modified division. So I'm telling you, Dave's done a great job on writing these transition rules that allows everybody to come and play at Salt City. So kudos to Dave Britton for making that happen.
Yeah, and I'm glad IMCA went to do that, to put those transition rules in, and that's what we're trying to do. I had a lot of people saying, not everybody gets a race. We're trying to I can't get 100% of everybody to race every week. I hope everybody can understand it. Let's get through this first year, and then let's kick off 25, 26, 27. We can spread the schedule out, because that's the next thing is the schedule we have. These dates were not picked by us. These are the dates the fair gave us and said, this is the dates that are available, because we're so far behind the 8 ball. So by October next year, we can have the plan set up and we're moving forward. Then we can pick some more dates. And I'm going to be honest with you, I would love next year that we could go 2 nights a month instead of just 1. So we can do all kinds of different things with this racetrack and stuff too. But everybody just understand, we've got to get through this first year. We can't race there once a year, and the fair boards are not going to let that happen and keep that racetrack there. We've got to do more than once a year. We've got to move forward with more ideas and stuff. So everybody just do what you can to support it. If your class isn't racing that night, get your buddies, get your friends, and get in the stands and support this thing and show this fair board what we've got going on and what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, okay. Kyler, what else? Anything on your comments? Anything at all you got left at all there, buddy?
No, I think that covers my list. I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to come once again help out with this historic event that we're doing here. It's going to be a great season.
All right, let's flip it back over to Nick.
100%.
Nick, you're going to talk about a few more things on your list there, Nick. So let's flip it back to Nick here for a minute.
Yeah, so pit stalls. We are going to rent pit stalls, assigned pit stalls for the year. They're going to be $100. So if you want to get a pit stall rented, reach out to us, and we will get you set up and just kind of let us know whereabouts you want to be. If you want me to send you the pit stall map, I'd be more than happy to do that too. I wish I'd had it to put up on the screen again, but
well, we're gaining on it. So we're doing this every week at 6 o'clock. So make sure you get your calendar set and get tuned in at 6 every week, so we can keep updating you on things we see, we hear. And even after last week's show, we had several people call and talk to us about different ideas and stuff. And we value your opinions. We value what you've got. Are we going to make everything available to you and your opinions work? No. I will do everything we can to feasibly possibly do it. But a couple of you have some great ideas. I love your ideas. But for this first year, I can't do it. So I hope everybody can understand that side of the coin too.
Yep. And registration is open on your My Race Pass app for Salt City. Get on there, get registered. Download the W-9 and get that filled out so you can get back to us when you come for the first race. We are not charging anything for driver pre-registrations, so get registered up. It's free. We will be selling pit passes and tickets advanced online through My Race Pass. Dates when all that stuff starts going on sale for the first race will be announced here soon. Don't have all those details done yet, but you will be able to buy pit passes and tickets online. Buying pit passes online is going to be awesome because you'll be able to buy them. You'll be able to come to the gate. They're just going to scan the QR code that you got on your phone from buying the pit pass. You just sign the insurance form. They give you a wristband and you go in. So that's going to cut down on time at the pit pass line and everything else. So pretty cool feature that My Race Pass has given us to help out all of the racers and the fans.
Yeah, I'm going to stress on a little bit about that while we're doing that. Is I have to go back every race and show the fair board how many pit passes we sold, how many people come through the gate. Because yes, I have a tiered system of how many people show through the gate, what I have to pay to rent the facility. So I want to have honest proof to the fair board that here's how many we did, here's what's come through the gate, here's what came through the pit pass. That's also why we're going cashless, so I can track everything so they can see that. And I hope you all understand. I'm making you plan ahead of this so you can kind of know. I'm not putting this on the last minute for you. We got to have these reports that are accurate and everything else that go back to the fair board. And we're going to get audited from every angle there is possible from the state, because this being a state owned facility. So I hope everybody understands that side of the coin too by doing that. So I can have these tickets scanned in, registered online, all kind of stuff. But jump online and do it. It's just going to save you time. Yeah, the first time around, it may be a little cumbersome and whatever gets set up. Yeah, it is from that part. But that's once you get set up one time, then guess what? We can go from there and keep things moving faster. And kind of like Kyler said, it'll be faster once we get it set up and going through the pits and that sort of thing too, from that standpoint. So what about any other questions coming through?
Cody Williams asked if we're going to have cool trophies.
What do you think, Cody? Come on, brother.
Yes, we're going to have cool trophies.
Yeah. Okay. And then you kind of covered one up there, Gus. I mean, any ATV and golf cart fees in the pit area. We're going to have to talk about that as tight as our pits are going to be, whether we'll let just a whole bunch of golf carts. I think we're going to have to put it down to maybe one pit cart or whatever, bike or whatever per team for at first. See how things go from that part. Do I want to charge a fee for you to bring that in there? Absolutely not. I don't want to make another fee on top of that part of the situation either from that part.
Can you buy at the gate or only on my race? Absolutely, you can buy at the gate, 100%. Just trying to make it a little easier for you if you would like to purchase in advance to save you a little time when you get to the track.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm coming across my phone. I've got my phone up on my race pass. On my Facebook page. So let's go back through some of my comments. Is there any other comments up there we missed? Okay. Jenny White about food in the stands. Okay. Let's talk about that for a minute. My first proposal that I put in that I wanted concessions. I did not get this concession part of it. That's also what took a little bit longer to get this approval through the fair board and that sort of thing too. So the normal person, Charlie and his gang, Charlie Griffin, is going to be taking care of the pits. Taking care of the concessions. We've met with Charlie and his group already. They're very excited to move forward with that, to help us with that. And yes, they are going to have a cart come through the pits to help take care of your racing stuff. And we've got some exciting things we haven't announced yet. I haven't had time to sit down with a couple of the people or the sponsors that want to do different things for food and stuff. Of course, like Murphy Tractor and Equipment, they're going to have a couple nights that's their night, and we're going to bring those guys down in on the stage on the inside of the track to have them have a better racing experience, to watch the races from the inside, that sort of thing. And several of the sponsors have asked for that same thing, so we're going to do that every night. Probably have a sponsor of the night. I've got other people coming at me asking about bringing food for the racers and stuff, and we're all over that too. Just my phone's been ringing off the hook. These emails have been coming in every on myself. Got a lot of things to work on. Got a lot more meetings to get set up and stuff too. But right now, my main concern is Monday morning to have those tractors and graders on that track, getting us a good base set up and moving. We still got a little bit of time, I think, ahead of us to keep moving things forward. So just bear with me on some of these things to get set up and get going. So from that part. Kyler, anything else you can think of, buddy?
I'm good, guys.
For anything?
I'm good.
And what's that last one coming down?
Chris says, when traveling series show up, are the pit spots going to be open to the big haulers that come with those series? Yeah, we're having a little bit different arrangement when the USAC Silver Crown comes to town, but we'll have a little bit more info on that when we get a little closer. Right
now, we're looking at what Tommy's trying to tell me. It looks like we're going to have about 30 of the sprint cars coming that night. So yes, we're going to let those guys get the prime pit stalls on that situation. Sorry for that, but I think we need to give those guys, they're going to put on a hell of a show with us running 100 laps. So yeah, we'll have to have and that happens at most tracks when you go on special shows. Your pit stalls are not attained for your situation, but I got to give those guys first right of pick for their pit stalls as they move into the situation. What else we got up here, Nick?
Yeah, can you buy at the gate or only on my race? Yeah, we already answered that one. Yeah, you can buy at the gate. Just card at the pit gate, or can we do check at the pit gate?
It's got to be a cashless situation. I'm sorry. Prepare for that for us. The reason I'm doing that again is I have something electronically that I can take back to the fair board to show them exactly the dollars that come in. I can show them what went in the bank account and everything that's legit and nothing's fake, nothing's wrong or whatever. So I can prove it in an easy way of what they want. And trust me, this fair board is asking for a lot of things from us, and I want to give them everything they want to prove to them so we can keep this thing racing.
Will Dodge have all IMCA classes or Outlaws stuff?
Tyler?
Yes.
Will Dodge have all IMCA classes or all stuff? Yeah, so we're an IMCA weekly racetrack, but then we have our ASES shows. We have some micro shows, that aren't IMCA, but yeah, we'll all be IMCA.
All IMCA.
And just so you know, I mean, just so we can make sure everybody's aware, those transition rules are, unfortunately, are only good for Salt City. Yeah, I wish they'd open them up so we can have those other cars at Dodge, but those transition rules that Dave set are only going to be good at Salt City Raceway.
Yeah. Okay, Cody, I think we answered the compacts. We're going to try to put the compacts back in as we move through the year. We'll just see how things go from that part.
Will concessions be card only?
I don't know. We'll have to answer that. We'll get that answer from Charlie to find out what his plan is going to be. I doubt he's going to do card only. That's his game, his gig. We'll have to ask Charlie that. So we'll get that question answered next week, what Charlie's going to do there on that part.
Are kids 10 and under free to get in? Kids 12 and under will have a discounted ticket price.
12 and under discounted ticket price. Okay. We left anything else off on that part?
I think we're caught up.
So any other questions in the comment sections? I think we've kind of covered everything. Kyler, again, thank you again for hanging in there with us tonight. I think we got to work on his mic a little bit. Everybody's sounding it's a little scratchy coming through there, Tyler. We'll figure out what we got there to get you next time up a little bit better.
Make sure it's still plugged in good, Kyler.
It looks like it is.
So anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week at 6 o'clock again live to help you update more things, and we'll be able to tell you what happened all week at the track with the getting the track base put in. Hopefully we have some good picture stuff we can put up too for you. Might be putting some pictures up during the week as the tractors and the graders coming across there from that part. So keep your questions coming, keep your comments coming. We're keeping track of all these situations so we can make everything good for everybody. Let's run through these again. Excited for Mike Van Gundren, I guess is how you say that.
Van Gundren.
He put the dirt on Bristol, so I think if NASCAR is going to hire him, I think we can hire him too to come in and take care of all that. Again, Murphy Tractor and Equipment, can't thank Dan and Curtis so much for everything they're doing and providing with us. Great gentlemen over there in Park City. Of course, they've got offices in Great Bend and Humboldt too, so can't thank them enough for everything they're doing for the equipment. Richard Brothers Construction, John and Ross Richardson, they're coming in great with us, helping us on all kinds of different angles stuff, bringing some equipment in too to help us get things prepared. Of course, Ox Construction Materials coming in to help us with Andale Concrete coming in to help us with the walls. So appreciate that very much. Construction Rental coming in, helping us with the lights on the back straightaway races. We're going to I told them this afternoon, I think we need 3 of those big lights on the back straightaway. We'll see how that goes and what that does. Agri Center's coming in with a bunch of side-by-sides and stuff for us to help us motor around and keep Kyler where he needs to be from that part. And then also BG Products has contacted me. Of course, we've got a great partnership here at Millham before. They called and said, we want to be part of that racetrack. And we're meeting with those guys tomorrow and see what kind of deal we can put together, fun things we can do with those guys too. So anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Keep everything on the positive note. If you got any questions, also the phone number's on the webpage. The email is up there too if you want to email something in. Getting a lot of questions about people working. And I'll say it again, no volunteers. I don't know how that got started or whatever and got that fired off or whatever. I've never said I'm wanting volunteers at this racetrack.
And if you put in an application, we haven't called or emailed anybody back yet. So we're still working through those, but just stay tuned.
Yeah, so jump on the webpage. There's an unemployment tab. You can fill that out and send in the application from that part. And as we move through what Kyler is going to need on that part, I mean, Kyler will go through those applications and figure out who he wants to hire, what he wants to do on that part to bring those people in to help run this show from that part. So everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And next Wednesday, 6 o'clock. And if you got some comments, questions, whatever, don't forget, email in, contact us or whatever, or wait for the chat line next week from that part. We'll have some great pictures throughout the week. Stay tuned. Let's see what Mike can do with that racetrack. And again, thanks to all the sponsors who help us. We've got more sponsors to announce as they come on board and stuff like that too. So appreciate it very much, everybody. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next Wednesday at 6 o'clock.